Good evening. Welcome to that Millwall podcast. Good evening, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good, wherever you are. Welcome to a Sunday night live. This is, mate, I've just realised we can't go. Looks like we're
just crack on. Come on.
We're not going on Twitter because our premiums run out, so we're not going on Twitter. There we go. We're only on YouTube only. Oh well. We'll post something out on there in a minute. So yeah, good evening, welcome. Hope everyone is okay. I am joined by the usual suspects. I'm joined by the one and only the man who you don't see much, but you will see more of going forward. The one and only Omar. Hello, fella.
Jay, right? Because I'm here all the time, mate. Don't worry, I'm here now. Sorry, Jay, if I didn't mean to put premiums out. Hello, mate. I told you, mate. New season, new me. I'm here, all right? I'm present. I'm here.
No worries.
How are you? You all right? You good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yes. I'm loving the new Omar. So yeah, all good. Ask me on fucking game 3, and then we'll be able to keep going. So yeah, we keep getting game checks and we go like from there. So yeah, Jay, you all good, fella?
Yes, mate. Yeah, evening, chaps. Pre-season's done. Next stop is the next time we go live. It'll be a season opener. So yeah, very much.
It will be. Yeah, it will be the proper. All
real deal.
Yeah, proper. And it will be.
Such professional.
Shut up! I'm running out of power. That's all. Do you know what I mean?
You are made for this shit,
mate. Listen, I didn't realise that Twitter had run out, so we can't broadcast on there in a minute. And I didn't realise that my laptop was going to run out. So yeah, listen. Oh God. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know that in a minute I'm going to press the intro button, and when we come back, as you can see, I have been relegated into Stephen's normal position on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening to the podcast, it means nothing to you and you don't really care. But going forward after this intro, you'll have the one and only Omar leading this chariot. Off we go.
Language you don't usually hear on television. Millwall in London's Dockland.
No one likes it, but we don't care. We're that Millwall podcast. Loud every Friday night right here. Legends like Jimmy and Abdul take a share in the kitchen too. Super Neil Harris, a fucking legend too. Through the good times and in this life, we support the Lions all our life. This ain't no place for fancy feet. This is fucking Millwall through and through. Located on our very own John Pedersen way. Let them all come, let them have their say. Millwall till we die. With that Millwall podcast, loud every Friday night right here.
You could have pressed that any time you want, but go on, off you go.
Bonjour. Evening, everyone. Let's say hello to the chat quickly anyway. Hello, Carl. Hope you're doing well, pal. Hello, Pete. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Steve. Hello, Alex. Lady Millwall, how are you? And hello, Dean. And you're right, we didn't sort of fucking intro out, but hey, that's what Mickey's here for, to, bring his Mickeyness to the show, I suppose. But yeah, we're going to talk about various bits and bobs today anyway, and obviously talk about yesterday's game in a bit of length of detail. We want your input, your interactions, your thoughts on yesterday's performance. I also done a post-match thought yesterday, so be sure to check that out as well, but we'll go into more detail today. We'll also talk about some transfer news and some rumours. Obviously, Jason Molumby. Yes, you heard it right. Jason Molumby's been linked with a return to the Den. We've also got a bit about Macaulay Langstaff. Obviously, didn't play yesterday from the start, and we've since found out he had toe surgery in the summer. And obviously a bit about various other bits and bobs, including a game at the end. If you watched our show the other day, myself, Ben, Stephen and Dan done a prediction show. And we want your thoughts and comments as well on that one. So be sure to interact with us and obviously comment below. We do appreciate it, and we'll get your comments on the screen. So we'll start with Southampton. I mean, a 1-0 loss. Me and Jay had a little bit of a back and forth on the chat yesterday. And I said we'll save it for the show tonight, but we're here now, Jay. I mean, just initially, mate, what was your thoughts on yesterday's performance? And obviously, like you said, pre-season's done now. How are you feeling overall, pal?
I feel all right. That I think we came out of pre-season as a whole relatively healthy. I know we have got a couple injuries, but it could have been a lot worse. I think the injuries that we've got sort of been niggling on anyway. You know, your Murray Wallaces and things like that. I'm overall pretty happy with how it's gone with the levels of fitness. We look pretty fit. I thought for large periods of the game, the structure was there. The shape was always very good. I do have some concerns that we'll come on to, but I'm pleased it's out of the way. It's always a worrying time pre-season. It don't matter if you lose 4-0 every week. It's all about keeping fit, keeping healthy, building them footballing game time legs up, and I think we've done that. So
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, obviously, we'll talk about we'll go straight into it, I suppose, the lack of real quality, I suppose, and something you mentioned yesterday in the chat as well, mate. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I was being a bit more glass half full probably, and I tend to be that way anyway. But what was it that really bothered you the most yesterday about the performance overall, mate?
I think it was the real lack of creativity, and I say that I know we know that as a football club at the moment, but I am starting to get concerned that it is a copy and paste from last season. Now, when I say that, when Harris come in, we all come on the pod and we all said, look, we know this style of football isn't the best style of football, but it's all about staying up. It's all about going to war, just staying up, shut up shop, get a couple points here and there, and stay in the division. We've done that. But from what I've seen from pre-season now, this could be down to the lack of options that we have, but it does look very much like we're going to start the season how we ended the season. And that is a concern for me, because while I don't think we'll get hammered too often, I can just see us falling back into that rut. And it is a concern because we started off the transfer window very worried. You know, things weren't moving. We had transfer plans scuppered with the loss of Sarkic, sadly. That obviously slowed things down. And then we picked things up. And then all of a sudden it's gone very, very quiet again. And the one area that we spoke about at the end of last season, that we've spoke about on every single show when discussing what we need, is up front in the wide areas, and we're still yet to address that. So I'm still concerned, and this is obviously a reaction on the now. This could change next week. We make 3 or 4 signings, and it might look a little better. But the reaction now going into Watford, I am a little concerned.
No, I agree with you. I think, Mickey, you're on mute, just so you know, mate, because that's you in a nutshell. But I think, Mickey, what did you think of the game, mate, overall yesterday, Mickey?
I think it was a typical final game before, final pre-season game, really. There was nothing really in it. I mean, I do think, and I'm not going to bitch about it because it would just make us Nottingham Forest, but I do think that the Southampton were going in with fucking full vigour and voice. And good luck to them, do you know what I mean? To be fair, good luck to them, because we done it. And to be fair, they probably thought we were going to do it to them. I do think the ref was a bit weak. He could have thrown a few guards around, because some of those tackles were,
in my opinion.
Yeah, some were fucking dodgy as fuck. But look, if we start this season like we did last season, with the strength and the back, with the back team, with the back four and whatnot, or the back team where we're not letting in goals, then I'm all right, because I think we'll end up pulling it forward. With the fans forum bits the other day, was bits that said that there's 3 players what are potentially looking to come in before August, and I think that I think there was a striker and a couple of wingers. So I'm okay at the minute, and I think with the players, yes, we've got a weak team with injuries dropping down, but is it any different from every year? To be fair, we go into a new season every year, and it don't really matter what we do. I mean, Christ, look at socials today. So many fans, having a pop about Macaulay Langstaff that he's dared to have a toe operated on and stuff like that. Which I'll talk about him in a bit when we come on to that. But yeah, it's mad.
I think overall from it anyway yesterday, I did come out thinking there is signs of what Harris is trying to do. We are short players, and I think you said about obviously the attacking options from it was mentioned in the forum as well. I think Cole Bracey here said literally we need a lump and 2 wingers, and I totally agree. I think we need that plan B up top. I mean, I noted it yesterday, and I said it in the post-match, but we didn't take a single goal kick for Let's Go Long at all yesterday, which
is weird.
Yeah, but it's obviously a clear kind of message that we don't have that lump up top. And I think at times Hutchinson and Cooper will get on the ball. second half in particular, I remember Denor getting on the ball and trying to spray out wide from that position as well. I think that will be a sign of things to come. It's just, and it's always been our problem, Jane. I do feel this when you think about our centre halves. Obviously, Tanganga's the exception here, which will be the case when he comes into the side, but we don't move it quick enough at the back, and that's the problem you get when you try to play from the back, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that I don't think that we're a very confident side. Now that may deceive people. People might think we are because we're resolute at the back, but I don't think we take enough risks. Now Cooper's normally pretty good at driving forward with the ball. He doesn't seem to do that. He wants to pass it back between himself and Hutch, and I worry that some of the pace in this league, this is the strongest championship it's been for a very long time. Some of the pace in this league, I think we could come unstuck with that. I do worry about. I thought Hutchinson had a really good 45 minutes, by the way, but I do worry that with Murray Wallace going down, Tanganga missing the first 3 games, is the only real backup we've got at the moment is Harding at centre half, and Danny Mack is the backup to both right back and left back. We could only field 7 substitutes, and half of them were academy graduates. So I'm worried about the depth that we have at the moment. Now, if we bring in 3 attackers, that will push that depth a little bit longer. We'll be able to field a stronger bench. But I'm starting to now get concerned with what was a strength at the back. I'm now getting concerned that that is potentially going to come unstuck and be a weakness at some point, because I do think we need another left back. I do think we probably do need another versatile centre back who can fill in sort of right back, for instance. Tanganga can, but predominantly you don't want him doing that. So there's a few areas where I think we still need to improve, and we'll touch on a couple of the players that we've been linked with, people saying that it's not a priority. But I think overall the squad is smaller and the squad is weaker before we go into the game against Watford. So there is some concerns, but that will change if we make signings.
I think before you go to that comment, Mickey, I know you flagged it, but I was going to say about this comment and come up instead, actually. Obviously, you mentioned fans from Gannon saying we need 3 through the door. And then the question from John is, why aren't those 3 players here already? I want to ask, I think this is actually a good point, though. We've clearly took our time this market. I think we could have signed players for the sake of it. But my opinion, anyway, Mickey, I don't know what you think, is maybe we're waiting for that quality to become available, because you could sign a player just for the sake of filling the slot in the dressing room. But I guess, if Mill's confident they're saying 3 players still to come, they must know who they want, and they must be thinking there's a solid chance of getting them. What do you think, Mickey?
I think you're right. I think what they're looking at is that the problem is with Premiership loans, because of the Euros and everything else, and Copper and everything else this year, with different players playing everywhere else. I think the Premier League's not going to be giving out, and they start slightly later, don't they? They're not going to be giving out who their players are. They're not going to do their final list for a little while. So I think we're not necessarily going to know who is and who isn't available for a little while. And I think that if we had signed everyone up, it could have given us a bit of an issue going back. There was a question at the forum with about, is it Alfie Gilchrist?
Yeah, I think, you know what? I do think that will come back around. So Jay mentioned about versatility. I think he could be the option there.
But
he played right back to Chelsea and centre half.
Yeah, it's who misses out for him? Is it SA? Is it who potentially would miss out if he comes in? Because obviously what you want is players what will come in, what will fit in, and obviously hopefully it looks as if they're looking at youngerish players rather than journeymen, what we've had for the last few years. And hopefully we can get younger players, get them to perform and break out, and then hopefully sell them on in a couple of seasons and actually make some money, which is something completely different to what we've done in the past. But if we can do things like that, then that's great, because then you're opening up a pathway to the, from the youth team into the first team. And, when you go to agents and go, well, look at Esse, look at Mayer, look at, Imaku, look at this, look at that. And all of a sudden you've got players playing. It gives you a benefit to be able to get other youth in. I think what they're doing is right. Does it drive me mad? Yeah, of course it does, because you want everyone there.
I think as well, sorry to interrupt, Mickey, I think that with the Gilchrist link as well, is that will build competition as well, because Tanganga and Cooper, unless they're hurt, even on bad form, they're going to be starting, because and that in a sense they haven't got anyone that can really push them. I don't think Harding's going to push them. Wallace is going to push them. I don't even think Hutch, to some extent, will push them for a starting job. Because I think the quality will shine through. But if they have a real run of bad games or results don't start going our way, and we do have to make changes, and Harris has to make difficult decisions, you do need someone of some quality that's been pushing, that is ready to step in and take the reins, keeps people on their toes, keeps players on their toes. And I think we do need to see that, because we've got that issue with the wide areas. It's sort of SA and Marco. I don't think Watmore is going to push. I don't think Harris really wants to see Honeyman out on that right anymore. I think he even said about Honeyman playing in a 10. I think he views him very much as a central player. So I think we need to add quality that's going to push the starting players as well. Not necessarily coming to be a starter, but good enough that Gilchrist could push Tanganga, could push Ryan Leonard to start, and I think we do need that. I think they're the sort of signings that will be key this season.
I just also think with the link to like Gilchrist, it is competition, you're right as well. And I think the reason you're right about Honeyman, he played in the 10, second striker basically yesterday. I think it was deliberate because of the team he was playing against, because they like to pass the ball around the back and pass. And it was a good exercise to see that action. See, he might call on that in the season, so it was a good test for that. But I think the pace, I think also when I talk about the build-up, I know there's a comment from Bailey there that I was going to come back to, but I'll say about it now. We can't break teams' press as our back line. There's not technical enough. I agree with that a little bit, to be honest. So we need another way to find getting the ball forward. Big lump is probably the option. I totally agree with that. But I think when I saw that whole kind of moment where I saw Denor get on the ball from deep, if you have pace in them wide areas, a Marku on the left and then someone on the right with just raw pace to make the runs in behind, that could be an option as well. So I do think that's a bit exciting, because then you've got Langstaff in the middle, for example, to get on the end of it. And I think that's where Harris is going with it. I personally think. But
when Marku come on, Omar, sorry to interrupt you. When Marku come on, there was a couple times that Denore got the ball down and played him in, and he beat his man, and he didn't just beat his man; it was comfortable, and he was got through so well on that left hand side. I think everyone else was kind of starstruck by that and sort of, well, hang on, no one sort of moved up as a unit. And I think that's the lack of quality we have in the forward line, to see that pass before anyone else sees it and to join the attack. I think Marku's going to do that a lot this season. But I agree. I think I was worried that Casper Denore wouldn't really be a big fit for Harris. But from what I've seen of him, especially at Southampton more so, I thought he was so cool, calm and collected. And he was good.
Yeah. So both of you, do you think that the last few seasons we've become too predictable as a team, and maybe by looking to play with pace and moving the ball around and getting pace in those positions could potentially make a few clubs not really sort of underestimate what we're going to do this season, and that could give us a slight advantage? Because Neil's saying that the Championship is going to be there's really good teams in there this year. I don't know on that one. I think it's quite open. But yeah, do you think we've been predictable for the last few seasons? People have been able to shut us down, with Fleming and et cetera, where Neil Warnock started it and shut him down and proved that if you do that, he becomes nil and void. And do you think pace will give us that little bit of an underestimation?
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting on about the pace. I think that's our angle this year. I think it's something different. I think we don't have that raw pace. Marker is that one, but SA, he's mentioned in the comments in a minute, so we'll come on to him. But I think, yeah, it's definitely what we need to go with for it. I wanted to talk about Jensen, because that's a comment from Hugo, and we'll come on to that comment now then. But what did we make of him? Obviously, yesterday he said he couldn't go to the game yesterday due to work, but how was he apart from the mistake? I gave him the kiss of death. I said to my mate whilst at the game, he looks quite good, he does. And literally 3 or 4 minutes later, he fumbles that goal, and obviously Armstrong scores it. But Jay, what did you make of him overall? I mean, it was first we saw of him in pre-season, for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll quickly just touch on Mickey's point there, and then I'll come on to Jensen. I think the pace is something we have to have in a Neil Harris type team, because we set up so defensive. We're 10 men behind the ball, and in order to play that deep line counter-attacking football, you need the pace, because we don't get to break often. So when we do break, we need to get it up the field quickly and put teams under, because they will have committed so many men forward. You can hit them on the break with the pace. So I do think pace is massive. I think SA and Marku are 2 different types of wingers, which is what you need. You need that Saka, if you like, in SA, who's very quick. Very quick-footed. Gets the ball down, likes to play, has that bit of brilliance. And then you've got the Martinelli, for instance. I'm using an Arsenal reference here. That Martinelli on the left who just runs at people. You know, you need that yin and yang. So, yeah, I do think that's key this season. But on Jensen, Omar, yeah, I agree. I thought he had a really good game. His stance is very interesting when they play the ball across the box. He kind of doesn't put his leg down and shut off his legs. He kind of just leans down with his hands, and it kind of looks like it's going through his legs. But I thought he dealt with everything really well. I think his passing spot on. I think he's very good with the ball at his feet. Did make that one mistake, but is he going to? This is a question I pose to both of you. Is he actually the bona fide number one? Because Roberts is a very good penalty saver. He saved a couple penalties this pre-season. He's got some experience. Yeah. Is Jensen the long-term future and Roberts the keeper for now? Because we all know Harris likes experience. And what's your thoughts on that? Because I don't think he's the bona fide number one.
Not to interrupt, but that's one of our questions that's coming in at the end of the show where we want to get everyone's views and comments as well. So it's one of the questions that I put to the chat.
It wasn't asked.
It was asked because
No, it wasn't asked in the forum.
No, but I'm talking about the little quiz we got at the end with prediction game, because one of the questions is who do you think will make the most appearances out of the two goalkeepers? Because I think there could be a chance Roberts gets in, but we will come back to that and everyone stick around for that one. But the Daily Millwall, this comment was the Premier League ball in the second half didn't help Jensen. A football is a football, as far as I'm concerned. Just want to put that there.
No,
stop. I understand what he's getting at because he's saying the balls move differently and all that sort of stuff. However, the ball came in from the corner. The ball came in from the right, our left-hand side. He's come to claim it. And a football is a football, in my honest opinion. I get the ball moves, like the World Cup Jabulani ball and all that sort of stuff from 2010. I subscribe to all of that theory, but the ball was crossed in. A football is a football. A goalkeeper should catch that ball. He fumbled it, came for it, made the mistake, and we paid the price. I get where you're going with that, Daily Mill, but a football, at the end of the day, don't get too technical about it, in my opinion. It's a fucking football. Catch the ball.
I'm sorry. If it was a free kick 30 yards out and caught him off at the top bins, then fair enough. But it was a floated ball in. He's 6'7". He's got giant silverback hands. He had both hands on the ball. And it went through him. It's a goalkeeping mistake. It isn't the football, like Omar says. It's one of them. He'll hold his hands up. He won't want to do that again. He'll learn from it. He'll position his hands better, get these mistakes out in pre-season. It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. But that would have just kept in his mind, and maybe in Harris's mind, who actually starts at Watford, because it was very interesting that he played the full 90.
Yeah, I think he plays. I think he does play next Saturday, but we'll talk about it more on Friday, I suppose, on the preview in it. But I do think he starts. He gave him the last game before the end of pre-season. I think he probably plays. But yeah, I mean, I get where Daly Moore's going with that. But for me, end of the day, football is a fucking round thing. He's got to catch the ball. That's what he's paid to do. But yeah, just my opinion anyway. I also wanted to mention this comment from Alex, the young lad who came off the Saints looked tasty. I actually named him in the group chat, didn't I, Jay? I think he looked unbelievable when he came on, caused a couple of troubles. I remember one point towards the end of the game, just down our right, took on 3 players and went with it, didn't he, really? He looked really good.
It got to the point where Alfie Massey had to take one for the team and just clean him out, because he went through SA like he wasn't even there, and Casper De Norre had a go, and he looks a real good talent. I mean, he might, with financial fair play so prominent in the leagues now, with spending money for teams that go up, maybe they'll keep him. He might be a good squad player. Don't really know what his pre-seasons looked like, if he's played much, but that is someone that you'd like to have down here on the wing. It really would. So
Neil wants to bring him in a bit more. He
said
what you call it? Yeah.
No, we're talking about the Southampton winger. Yeah.
Oh, it's only because you got a comment up on Massey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, going on that, as we just spoke, Massey took one for the team there. Yeah. Massey's got proper Millwall about him.
Yeah,
he likes to get stuck in, but he's a cross between Billy Mitchell and Casper De Norre for me. He can get the ball down, he can play ball, he wants the ball, he wants to dictate play, he looks like a future captain, and he also does the hard work off the ball. He's got good energy. I wouldn't send him out on loan, personally. I really wouldn't. I think we're quite weak in midfield. We had Campbell as a number, but Saville's another year older. I can't see Saville playing every week. Billy's injured. So I'd like to see Massey stay with the team, not go out on loan, at least while we're nurturing injuries. Maybe January, if he's not getting a look in, send him out. But yeah, very, very encouraged with some of the youth, and it's good to see we have got that, because we do like a good central midfielder at Millwall. So yeah, very, very pleased for him.
But it
Well,
leads
that's
us on to that next question, though, because the next part I guess we'll go on to now is we have been linked this morning to a new signing, and M-Tan's asked a question here. I've not seen the Jed Wallace part, but I always go on about it like I'm
Jed-
saying we want Jed Wallace, but we're not signing Jed Wallace as far as I know. Nicky?
No, Jed Wallace is on 30 grand a week, mate. We are not signing Jed Wallace. He's a
But-
fucking club captain there.
They're going to get rid of him.
You reckon?
They're
Well,
under
well,
constraints now, ain't they?
They're under constraints. He's now not the first choice. He hasn't played much in the preseason. There was some West Brom reporters saying he could be one that goes.
But Jay,
I would not be shocked.
He's coming back, but we're not meant to say it. Remember, we're not meant to
I
say
would
it.
not be shocked. And I smashed this drum a few months back on the pod. I would not be opposed to having Jed Wallace back. It's a position of need. He knows the club. Harris knows him. Harris gets the best out of Jed Wallace. Wallace clearly loves the club still. You know, he's done a lot with, you know, when the late John Berylson died. I think he would come back. And I think Harris would love to have him back. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But it's a position of need. And it's a familiar face who can still do a job and would suit the style of play. Don't rule it out.
Bobby says don't want Jed back, but put it to the chat. What does everyone think? If I said to you we can have Jed Wallace this season playing for us, I'd have him back in a heartbeat. Me personally,
I don't get why people wouldn't.
It's a flat out answer, yes, straight away. But come on, chat, give me your comments. What do you think? But we'll come back to that in a second. But obviously, the main link that was this morning was Jason Molumby. What's your thoughts, Jay? Obviously, it's a familiar face, and for me personally, as someone said anyway, Molumby, what a player, and a good right hook on him too. Yeah, he's got a great. he's obviously facing a ban, but we don't know how long that is. I mean, there's violent conduct.
Did he get sent off though?
Well, the thing is, though, I think this is what I said yesterday to my mate. I was like, because it was plastered everywhere on the internet. If that was behind closed doors, that would have been swept under the carpet, and then nothing would have been said more about it. But it happened. It was streamed online. Within seconds, it was everywhere. We was at Mercia and we was all seeing it, going, "Fuck me, well, he's in trouble here." But if that was anywhere else than behind closed doors, nothing would be made of it. But I don't know how long the ban would be. There's no point speculating about that. But what do you think, Joe? I mean, I'm happy personally with the idea of
Yeah, I mean, I expect a full ban. He did. It weren't just a scuffle, and he's caught him. He full on George Foreman him. You know, he's grabbed. He's proper giving one. And a lot of Millwall fans jumped on that video as well. Look, I would love him back. I thought he was class when he come here. I would love to have signed him. He's young, aggressive, on the front foot. He can play in the 10. He can play in the holding role. He can play as an 8. Really, really, really suits us. Suited us last time. The club are obviously an admirer. Harris is an admirer. We have to start looking for George Savile replacements, and we need that depth as well. I love Billy Mitchell. Is Billy Mitchell the future at centre mid? Is he going to play every game this season? The Championship is a real tough league to play the amount of games that we play twice a week, sometimes 5 in a couple of weeks. We need the depth, and Molumby would be a good addition. He's out of contract in 12 months, so if he was going to buy him, you might get a cut deal with the embargo that West Brom were on, but it sounds to me more likely it'd be a loan with getting him on a free. But I would take him back. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't take him back. Casper Denore and
he could come back because I mean I know that there was a bit of a fallout with people what were here before, but they're not here no more.
They're not here,
so there could be. I've put a poll up by the way on the YouTube chat, and as we are only on YouTube only, all of you who are watching can click on there. At the moment, there's only about 28 of you who have voted, and at the moment it's yes 61%, no 39%. I'll give you about another 5 minutes on there.
Who's this on, Jed or Molumby?
Jed. Do you want Jed back, yes or no?
Cool.
Simple.
Molumby was talking about just there, but I think these are the comments about Jed anyway. 100% would love to have him back from Steve. Thanks for your comments, everyone, by the way. Connor says, yes, we need creativity. Andrew says, no, we need you. God, you don't want me on the right-hand side saying how much for free. Buff up, man. Daily Mill says, let them all come back to the den. John Parr says, maybe let's all go back 5 years, forgot the old players and move forward. Yeah, but the thing is, in our situation, and this is what I'm caveating with, I don't know what the deal would look like. I'm not sure. I know everyone's saying about the age, but he's a Championship veteran at this level and with good taste behind that, in my opinion. I think I get everyone saying play the youth. Wallace getting on now, as Ugo's comment as well. Might be technical good, but doesn't have pace anymore. I think he still has enough out there to play on the right. He would do a job for us this season, and that's the position we're in at the moment, where we've got less than a month to go to the end of the window. If you said to me, Jed Wallace can come back in a heartbeat, honestly, I really would. And then Andrew Roberts, no, we need youth, not Jeds. Mark
But
Murphy.
sorry, go on.
No, I'm just going for the gun. You can come in.
Just a
Wallace
quick
is
one. Do you think
faster than most players in this league at 30 years old?
Oh, yeah. But do you think Jed could be good if we did bring him back? And I'm not saying he is before anyone fucking says we are. Do you think that Jed would be good if he did come back? I don't think he would, because I think his kids are settled in that. But would he be good for the youth players coming up?
Yeah. Massively. He's a leader as well. You know, you talk about how we signed Hutch back, right? But Wallace could do a job on the pitch and still be a leader. He would come in instantly and command the respect of the dressing room.
And the thing with Wallace as well is that he's very much the best of both worlds. He can do SA's job. He's got the skill, the technical ability, can score from anywhere, can unlock defences, and he's got that raw pace where he can get him behind. So he can teach Marku things, and he can teach SA things that other wingers that are strictly one or the other can't do. I think Wallace would be a brilliant side. If you could get him on a terminated deal, if they terminated a deal, you got him back on a free or a really low budget deal. I don't understand why we wouldn't get him back. We're not a club rich in finances. And this comment alone, Matt, hello, Matt, good to see you, mate. But
he's gone to Oxford,
Matt Phillips just signed for Oxford.
He just signed for Oxford.
For Oxford. If we're going to look at someone like Matt Phillips, I wouldn't take Matt Phillips over Jed Wallace.
I read that as Mark Phillips, and I thought he was taking the piss.
I just think the pros outweigh the cons. You can't just look at the player and the age. You got to look at the finances, the fit. You got to look at the whole package that it comes with. I think Jed Wallace would be a good sign if you can get them both on a loan or so. Why not? Why not?
Yeah. I think also it's coming from Bailey. Molumby is a better version of Saville/Mitchell, but he is not the player we need as a priority. If we had the other options sorted, then yes. I kind of subscribe to that a little bit.
Yeah, I do.
But I think also he is the long-term option, Molumby, personally. I'd love to. He does score goals as well, like Steve said. I think, me personally, I'd love to have him in, but we'll see. I mean, it's the link's out there now, and we know if the club kind of say that, and obviously Rich Cowley mentioned it as well.
I think it'll happen.
Probably got legs to it, so time will tell. Which places will Molumby take, SA or Mitchell? I think SA is obviously a different slight position, so Molumby's probably more of a midfielder, central midfielder. But yeah, I think, I definitely subscribe to the idea of it. And a lot of people saying Jed is slower now, but I mean, you're talking about a position we need, and I just think I get what everyone's saying. It's not the long term option, but if we don't sort these positions out this season, I think we're in trouble. I really do.
And Jed would be a good holdover. It'd be a good holdover so you can actually go into the next or into January, for instance, and focus solely on really nailing down them positions. Jed would be a good holdover for 1 or 2 years. I think it'd be, and even a 30-year-old Jed Wallace, who may have lost a little bit of pace, is still faster than a lot of wingers in this league. And he's still technically brilliant. That outweighs the pace sometimes. You haven't got to have all the pace if you're technically good. Jed Wallace is technically a good footballer.
He played striker for West Brom, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in the number 9, and they done really well all season. And he filled in there. He played on the wing. He plays central, plays 10, plays 9, plays left. Why would you not have that versatility? And at a club like ours with no finances, like I said, or low finances, you need versatility. Molumby can play 3 or 4 different positions. Honeyman the same. SA can play in the 10, can play out wide. You need versatility in a club with low finances. Jed offers that in abundance. If you get it on a really good deal, it'll benefit the club. It'll be a good thing all round, I think.
Playing for a manager he loves as well. I think
that's the biggest thing, Omar. Sorry to cut you off. Is that Harris? You can't spend 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season trying to teach someone a system. This is a very difficult system to learn under Harris. You've got to work hard. Players have seen that. Your likes of Kevin Nisbets, your Obafemis, they've struggled with adapting to the off the ball play. Jed knows it already. He can come in, hit the ground running, and we need that. We need people that can hit the ground running.
I think just quote from John, why did Molumby and Wallace take West Brom? No way. Why would they want their squad players? We need to develop our own. I take his point at the end, but they did get the playoffs last season. Just to say, Wallace was the captain,
and both of them were played prominent roles in that. So
I know, but we'll move on from Molumby anyway. Look, we'll also do more about him if he actually signs. I personally would take him back in a heartbeat. Time will tell what happens there. I just comment about the training grounds, and I know Mickey, you at the fans forum. What's these rumours that the new training ground may be scrapped as location is wrong from Steve Lloyd? And I know a couple of people have replied to him in the comments as well. Mickey, you at the fans forum anyway. Give us a
Yeah.
one-time. How was it? Was it good fun?
Yeah, it was all right. It was good. Yeah, no, it was good. It was open and honest, and yeah, it was good.
Did you ask Neil why we play 4-4-2, or did you do?
No, I didn't. I was going to, and I didn't, and I didn't ask him. I wanted to ask about the keeper one. I didn't. I asked a couple of questions, but yeah, there was a few questions around the training ground and whatnot. I did record it, but unfortunately, my recording is shit. So I'm trying to salvage as much as I can, if anything, from it. So yeah, that would take me a little while because it's yeah, my fault. I should have took a decent microphone with me rather than trying to rely on a microphone with a phone that's been smashed more times than I fucking like to admit, to be fair. In fact, I've just done it a little while ago when it dropped off here and I didn't even realised that I've done the back screen yet again. So yeah, well, I've done it, not done it again. I've done it in a different place on the same smashed back screen.
Don't trust you with precious cargo. But yeah, I mean, the forum, who was there? It was first half.
Steve Gallen and Neil Harris. And then the second half was Mark Fairbrother and Oliver, someone from Who's the Commercial, who spoke really good, to be fair. And they got a bit dug out, to be fair, because they kept relaying to, like, you know, Arsenal, Spurs, etc., what they do. But I think it was more about these are what these clubs do, and these are where we've got to, you know, look to be like. And then people go, but we're fucking Millwall, you know, what the fuck, you know. And he was just saying, you know, look, we could go to certain businesses and tell them about Millwall passion, but we couldn't go to Coca-Cola, for instance, and tell them about Millwall passion because they'd be going, well, that don't really fit in with our brand, you know. But, you know, it's in, I don't know, I'm going to use you now, like Mason Scaffolding probably don't really give a fuck because they're a Millwall fan. Do you know what I mean? It's in, but you go to Coca-Cola for a front of shirt sponsorship, they're probably going to be, well, actually, yeah, that passion side of it is a little bit worrying. And if something goes wrong mid-season, yeah, we don't necessarily want to be associated. So I can understand where he was coming from. But
and just to people that don't know, Mickey, who is Mark Fairbrother to the club? What does he do? Just if anyone doesn't know him.
Fairbrother is basically
the non-footballing CEO, or sorry, that's why I put him.
He's managing director. So basically, he's pretty much, if you look at it in realistic terms, the easiest way to look at it, Mark Fairbrother, Steve Kavanagh, Steve Gallen, Alex Aldridge.
But from what it's because Steve Cameron used to get involved with a lot of transfer deals, right? He used to do a lot of the contracts. It feels like they've stripped that off Mark Fairbrother's role, if I'm not mistaken.
Mark says he's still involved in the transfers. Right. He just doesn't do the negotiations now. Are just left to Steve Gallen because obviously it's done. But he still has, you know, final say with the board and whatnot because he's the board position, I think, and I think Gallen isn't necessarily a board thingy. So yeah, that's what it was made. I mean, yeah, there was questions about the training ground, and it come up that the training ground was at the moment the prices have potentially jumped up massively. So there's now a few different surveys what they've had to do, like newts and zebra spiders or whatever what seems to be around this way all the time, and fucking archaeological and all of that, because obviously the ground was farmland. So they're looking at that. But obviously what Gallen was saying is that if they moved everything out to there as the training ground, the problem they have is that then it would limit their talent pool because you need to be an hour and a half. You can only look within an hour and a half of where you are. And potentially would someone coming from Croydon or Peckham, would you be an hour and a half really between there? And I mean, yeah, I mean, realistically, you look at it on Google and it might tell you it take 40 minutes, but with Blackheath traffic and the traffic round here, because I don't live that far away from it, it could take you fucking 4 days. So yeah, I can see what he's saying. Personally, I think that getting rid of the training ground in Bromley or selling it, what we did many years ago before John come in, was a mistake. I think if there's an option to get that back, I would jump at that and redevelop that a bit.
Who sold it? Was it Theo? Was it Theo Fitz that sold it?
No, I think it was Peter de Savary.
Ah, right.
Sold it to Oxford University Pension Fund or a scheme within there, and then we rented it back. But there must be something there because we've just paid to have all the pictures, and Harry said that the pictures there now are immaculate. So Obviously, you'll know more than me, Omar. You live not far from there, so you know.
Don't box me. Don't care about where I live, mate. Of course, slow down.
But I'm a Kent cunt, so yeah, it don't matter, does it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
What junction is it, mate? You live there?
Junction 2, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Harris was, you know, it sort of agreed that maybe it was slightly out, but there was not a decision that it's cancelled. It was just literally, it was right now they've got to do a few other surveys and see what way to do it. I know that they were talking about different Prem clubs what have built, you know, sort of Phil Clark will moan at me for saying it. There is code 1 or code 6, depending on what way you want within building, like where it's an energy efficient building and it's costly and whatnot. So I think they're just going to do that. But yeah, it's I don't think it's over yet. There's obviously they've got the academy. What Gallen said is that he would like, he doesn't care where, but somewhere where he can have the under 18s, the under 21s, the under 23s, and the main team sort of all together so that they see each other. Because he feels that builds in better, you know, when they see the first team and they see what's going on and everything else, and it just creates that little bit more
unity as well.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So yeah,
Mark,
but there was
Mark's brother. Sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt. He's been promoted with him, right? Or he used to be at the club and he's come back.
Mark Fairbrother used to be CFO, so he used to be the chief financial officer. Then he left to go join the A1 or whatever, or the electric Formula One.
Formula E. I've got his LinkedIn up here, to be fair. That's why I thought you might know a bit more. But head of finance, he used to be at Villa as well many years ago.
Yep.
And also worked for a company called QA, who were like a...
It was Wolves as well, I think, as well.
Yeah. And he's a no-nonsense guy as well. Mark Webber don't take no bollocks. He's quite a ruthless guy. By all accounts. He's quite a ruthless guy.
I think it's
it's a good board they've put together. It's a board of people that are very experienced in their field. Gallen is very experienced with the youth. We needed a focus on that. And Fairbrother's very experienced with his side of things, with the financial side of things, the off the pitch sort of stuff. And hopefully, if it's a good partnership, this Steve Gallen could be one of the best signings. I said this the other week on the pod. I think Steve Gallen will low key be one of the better signings we've ever made, because what he will do for the youth with his pedigree is, we're seeing it now. It's happened straight away. He's hit the ground running. So what I want to ask you, Mickey,
he's known Harris for a while.
Yeah, he has. Well, his brother was assistant to Kenny Jackson.
He raised there that he knows Harris because Steve Gallen used to be the under 21 manager or coach for QPR, and Harris was obviously the under 21s for Millwall. So they played against each other a few times and whatnot. So yeah, they know.
It's good. It's familiarity. But my question to you then, Mick, is to overall. Just
1 second, David Turner. I'll come back to your point in a minute, mate.
So my question to you then, just overall for the people that weren't at the forum, but like myself, I wasn't at the forum, but what did you take away from Harris's side with looking at the team, and what was the biggest takeaway you took from the overall future of the club, or how they want to move forward with the club? So if we start with Harris and the team, what did you take away? Did you come away feeling good? A bit nervous?
I wouldn't say nervous. I think there's probably a lot of issues within buying football players that we probably don't know about, and how that goes about and all that. I mean, Steve Gallen said that, you know, literally before the meeting, he was talking to an agent. He's speaking to agents constantly, trying to get offers, etc. And, you know, it's sort of like a player's market. They can choose, and players hanging out, you know, like Tandanga was hanging out because he thought he was going to get another offer, and then it was Neil Harris who potentially got him over the line and stuff. So,
Mickey, it's Tanganga.
Yeah. I'll say whatever the fuck I want.
I get that in text
because I can do that as well. You see,
I get it in text messages from my mates. When you read my text messages, you probably read it going, "Fuck me," put a comma in, and people go, "Fucking hell, can you speak English?" Did you understand it? Did you understand what I said? Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I'm the same
That's
as
the
you,
main
mate.
thing, isn't it?
I'm the same
Did you
as you on
understand what I
text
said?
messages, mate. Do you know what I mean?
So-
There's no grammar, no nothing. So
This is
yeah,
fucking one.
Did they say? Did anyone ask how they got their positions? Did they all get headhunted? Do we know? Or because I know obviously Mark February used to work here, but how did
it
Gallon,
wasn't asked. There was a question. There was a question. What was put in? What basically asked Gallon if he come in at the right time, and he basically said probably not. It'd have been better, sort of a bit later or something. But it was sort of said it wasn't ideal coming in May. It would have been better slightly later as such. But yeah, it's. I mean, I'm going to look at seeing obviously what with the recordings what I can salvage because there's loads of background noise and I've got to try and clear it. So I'm probably going to end up having to try and transcript it and then maybe me and you, Omar, can do a show with it just to let people know what's what. But yeah, there was a question about that where he said, yeah, possibly it wasn't ideal to be able to get in the ground and hit the ground running with what they needed to do. It wasn't ideal, obviously, about Sarkic, the unfortunate thing. And Harris spoke about that he was the first person to know. And then he had to basically be the father figure and inform everybody else at the club. And, he said all he could think about was his own family, sort of what you do when someone close to you. And that was quite an insightful part. But no, I think Gallon and Harris get on. Do I think that they're best mates and probably invite each other to each other's wedding? I don't know about that much, but I think it's sometimes probably nice to have a bit of edginess between those people. And also, Gallon said that he talks to Scott Fitzgerald pretty much every day and gets reports on players. And also, he said that one thing he did say is that there's loads of names going around, and our scouts and stuff now we've got like a CRM with all the players' details and visits and stuff, and we've got some scouts at Chelsea games and some other Prem games like under 21 games and stuff. So he said, look, we're looking at these players because that was it. A kid asked about Alfie Gilchrist, and he said, to be fair, we watched him on the game they played the other day, and we're watching him again on Wednesday. Or we're there. He didn't say we're watching him. He said we're there watching the Chelsea team because there might be someone else we're watching there as well. But yeah, they seem to be going. We're looking overseas. We've got some, players over. We've got some scouts overseas and looking around. So yeah, they don't seem to be afraid of if they're told of a player what potentially could make a fit into the club, then they will go look at him. He did say that. James Berylson has basically said you find a player you want and it's within the criteria. So, that, I don't know, maybe they're young, maybe they're fast, whatever. I don't know what the criteria is, sell on, whatever. I don't know what it is. But if you want him, then go get him. So it's sort of like there is an open checkbook as such. So I think if you look at the players that are coming in, we've not really looked at signing marquee sort of player to, youth sort of setups for the future. We're normally looking at, a 29, 30-year-old has-been who's finishing his
Wallace.
Final. Yeah.
Just so we've got two things that I want to do about the fans forum, then we'll move on because I think we can talk about it.
Oh yeah, he did. Gallon did
say
say we had a big. Gallon did say, Gallon did say that we've got quite a big squad, which everyone gasped and sort of chuckled at.
But also this one, because I know this comment's been said as well, and I know Joe, you've said it multiple times. But how do you he's not? How is he our best signing? We could have brought anyone in, and we're saying he's our best signing at the moment. But when you say you see stuff, for me, the truth's in the truth's in the pudding. He's obviously a well-respected name in the football world, which is something I was always thinking about Aldo.
Trusted.
This guy, I always said. Yeah, but Aldo makes a phone call. People be like, "Who the fuck is Alex Aldridge?" Whereas Steve Gallon is a bit more of a well-known name in that role. So for me, immediate tick. But what is it that makes him our best sign? Because I'll wait to see and wait to say that till 2 years' time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So why is he our best signing? Do you think, mate?
I agree with that point. I do agree with that point. The reason I say is that we've been crying out for a link between the youth and the first team for years. Gallon brings that. We've been crying out for someone who knows what they're doing behind the scenes, that has got contacts, that has been around the football world, been around multiple clubs and done this job at good level, been in other sectors, other sports sectors, understands the role, understands the game inside out. I just think it's something that we've really, really needed for such a long time that we've hit the nail on the head with it. We've got a marquee guy in his field for what we need. Now, he might not be the best in football.
Why is he marquee? This is
what
what
we
I
need.
get. Why is he marquee?
Just because
I want to know why you think this. I'm not
I mean
disagreeing.
marquee
But
in the field. So marquee in the field of what we need, what we haven't had. Like
Yeah.
we've
It's
got,
even simpler than that.
Yeah, but if we've gone from someone who hasn't done that, doesn't care about the youth, not interested, doesn't have many contacts, to someone who has that in abundance. So to me, that's a huge.
Listen, we've gone, yeah, but I'm not being funny.
And the signings we've made and the money we've spent are really, really
I
good.
agree. I think
Less than 2 million on good players.
I think anyone better than Aldridge, anyone better than Alex, to be fair, would have been, there.
And that's what makes him marquee.
Allegedly,
it could have been
he went to Stoke. He went to Stoke, and allegedly he got caught out. He come back to us, and he didn't really do a lot. There are some people within our fan base who will go, well, he was behind this deal, and he was behind that deal, and he was behind that deal. Well, if he was that fucking good, he'd still be here, and he ain't. So, it goes on. But Gallen is here because he comes from trusted background, and he's been recommended. And also, I think James Berylson's direction is more regarding youth. In stuff what we've read and whatnot, he talks about youth, and I think that potentially what he did at QPR, what he's done at various other clubs, and also the under-21, the under-21 at Charlton, he's brought youth in and spots good youth. I think that to us is highly valuable. We need to be able to find youth, play youth, give them a pathway into the first team, play them for a year or two, sell them on for big money, reinvest, same process again. What we don't want to be doing is signing that 30-year-old Omar who's played all his championship and his fucking legs are gone. And we paid. Well, let's look at Nesbitt, right? We paid nearly 2 million for Nesbitt. He's on, if the rumours are correct, he's on a bundle. He's on half a ton of, a month in wages. 50 odd grand or so allegedly.
Gallen doesn't make that signing.
No, but exactly. Exactly that.
This is my point though, because the proof is in the pudding, or whatever the fucking saying is, right? We don't know he's doing good because the players have to then turn up and do the performance for them, right?
Yeah.
There's so many factors that go with that. I agree that Gallen is a well-renowned name at this level, probably one of the better candidates we could probably attract at the moment. I don't dispute that because he's been at good clubs. He's had a good background. He's been in the job for a while. It's not his first ever job after being a journalist. If you ask me that, then perfect. That's perfect. But I don't understand all this. Is the best side we made the summer.
I think to summarise it totally, going off what Miggy said, is the best predictor of future behaviour is past behaviour. And everywhere he's done, everywhere he's been, he's recruited really well. The likes of Conor Gallagher, other names. There was a list of players he recruited before people even heard of them. That he's got an eye for the talent. He brings them through, he nurtures them, and they do go on to prosper. And he sees that. So until the signings we've made, the money we've spent, the finances around it, the way he's working, you've got to trust him until he gives you a reason not to. The best predictor of future behaviour is past behaviour. Anything to go on, he's done before.
Yeah, he did say that, because I raised a question about Josh Stevenson, and I said, obviously, ideally, I take it you don't want to sell Josh under any circumstance, and he basically said, yeah, and then he said, well, the chairman's backing it. The chairman's basically told us that there isn't a price for him. So when there's been a couple of clubs what have inquired and asked us to name our price for him, and basically we've gone, we're not naming the price. Yeah, he's not for sale. So, and also he's saying, ideally no one wants to go to tribunal because obviously it doesn't work. But, at the moment they are trying as hardest. But what he did say is that the contract, what ran out, should have really been done in December.
Yeah.
Around Christmas. And he said that's the biggest mistake with a lot of the youth contracts, is that they were done at the end of the season, when actually if they were done at Christmas, you would have all been signed up and we wouldn't be in the position we were, which, let's be honest, that's the biggest problem we've done over the last few years, is that we've not tied up. Even looking at Hutch, realistically, Hutch's contract, if you were going to keep him for another year, that should have been done before
It's different
his
with older
contract come
players.
out. So you get what I'm saying?
I'm conscious I want to be well because we've got something coming up in a minute. Just firstly, Joseph, how much is TV deal worth to Millwall? We done a whole show dedicated to that the other day. Check it out. It's on our feed on YouTube. It's on our feed on Spotify, Apple, whatever you want to say. Basically, it's worth a couple million, and we get some bits extra on that as well if we play on TV. So check that out. So after this, there's a video and a podcast on that. So be sure to check that one out. There was one other comment I think, Mickey, you wanted to talk about before we move on to our quiz or our prediction game that we've done on the show the other day, and we want all your comments, interaction. But Mickey, David Turner, you said you'll come back to. I think John Berrison bought the new training ground site as a plan B if we didn't get the deal for the den from Lewisham Council. So you go on to that, mate. I'm going to quickly nip to Lou because I've had too much water. So I'll be back.
Well, surprised the size of it.
I don't necessarily know if it was if it's fully, but that, and it's never ever been confirmed one way or another. But that has always been mine and a couple of others who were through the regen. That there was a question mark over it because many years ago, to a degree, we had a Millwall fan who worked for an estate agent, and he was telling us about Millwall were looking for grounds within Millwall were looking for places in Kent over 40 acres and stuff. Do I think they were moving the ground there? No, I don't. I do think that they were probably looking at a training facility of some form or something there, maybe a first team training. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think they were ever going to put the ground there. I don't think that was ever viable, and I don't think you'd ever really make something what was going to have 50,000 supporters every other week in that part of Kent. I don't know if that would have been necessarily got through planning, shall we say, but I do think that there was something else possibly there. We will find out at some point because it'll be a question that I would like to ask if I ever get to meet, get to see Jimmy or anything else, then
just before we move on, there's one comment I just want to touch on from M_Tan13. Good to see you. Quick question: is there going to be a league for the podcast on the EFL Fantasy app? There is something coming out that is sponsored by that Millwall podcast. It is going to be the EFL Fantasy Show. It is going to be hosted by myself and that Millwall podcast Northern correspondent Ben Green. You can go on to that Millwall podcast Twitter and find the retweet of the show. Jump on it. The league code will be coming out. There'll be weekly podcasts to do everything fantasy, and we'll have Omar and other guys on, and it'll be one big linked one, but it'll be a show dedicated just to fantasy. So if anybody is interested in the EFL fantasy football, hit me up on Twitter. I can give you more information, or hit the account up, and I'll talk more with you about it. So jump on that.
We also want to talk about just briefly before we move on. We've got our own Championship Prediction League show this year. And Mickey, that's going to be something we do weekly, isn't it, Mickey? With partnership with
it's partnership with News at Den Plus. Yes.
So basically, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically all Championship games every week. So it's 46 game weeks. We're going to play a part of that, and obviously we want you guys to be involved with that as well. There'll be 12 games. We'll do a video every week dedicated to that, do our predictions, and we want you guys to play along too. So you'll find that also on the Twitter, and you can check that out, and we'll be linking it when we do a show each week, just to give you a prompter to remind you to do it. So that's probably sort of things. For me anyway. It's like it's my problem is I'll do it, and then I'll forget for 2 weeks, and then you fall behind. So trying to keep on top of it. So every week you can subscribe to the videos. You can then join us. We'll do our predictions. You do yours. And at the end of the season, there's some prizes. Mickey, I'll put you on the spot. Do you know what the prizes are?
I don't at the minute, but there will be spot prizes from us as well throughout the course of the thing. So everyone who signs up onto the prediction game, and again, go to our Twitter. I think it's the pinned tweet. If you go up and sign up, and everyone who signs up before the first game kicks off, we're going to pick a couple of winners from there, and you'll get a Millwall podcast, Millwall fixture coffee mug. So basically, it's a thermal coffee mug, but it's got all our fixtures for the season on. So you'll know what ones are what, so you won't miss a game going forward. But that's only for people who join up before the first game. So if you sign up to the Thursday night, then yeah, you'll be included in there.
Perfect. And I think just quickly, just to do the other comments quickly. I think Gavin did say there'll be 3 in before the Watford game, like Dan Reek says here. And then just to wrap up on Stevenson, just lastly, he can't sign. Can he sign for Premiership clubs if they're signed? So basically, he's not training with us at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, because he's not contracted. However, we have to get a fee, and it will go down to tribunal if that happens, or the club will have to sell him. So that's
Joshua. It sounds as if his agent is being a little bit busy, but agents are. But at the moment, the club's not doing anything. He's still under contract with the club at the minute.
Any other business before I start to move on to our predictions?
Yeah, just one thing before we go. American Rover. I spoke to the club about this at the fans forum. I didn't do it as a question outright because it didn't feel as if it was going to be needed, and I wanted a more detailed answer than what they would give. They are going to be making publication within the next few days, and a lot of the stuff regarding it, they are tied by football regulation or football, the EFL regs regarding the streaming service. But I don't want to say, there is a rumour flying around that some people are saying it's gone up to 150. The club has said that it hasn't yet. So, that isn't true. So again, I would say just give it a few more days. If you've not heard anything by the end of this week, then I will jump back onto the club and get a response from them.
We're doing prediction time. Should we do it? Right. So if you've not seen the show the other day, I'm going to do the comments, Mickey. It's probably quicker to do it this way. So I'll post a comment from us so it's in there, and then I can pin it up to the screen. But the other day, myself, Ben, Dan, and Stephen, we do our annual predictions. We reacted to our predictions from last season, which was quite comical because there were some weird predictions in there, including myself saying we'll get 6th place in the playoffs. Listen, give me stick all you want for that. It didn't happen. Okay. But I got carried away like I tend to do so. But the first question, so this time round, we're going to get Mickey and Jay to play along on the show, and we want all your comments to these questions as well. So the first one here, and I'll get them on the screen for your comments as well, guys listening. What will be our most Millness win next season? So the context to this question, we discussed it on the show the other day, is our most Millness win last season. Do anyone want to guess what that might have been, Jay, if I say Millness win?
I'll say Southampton.
Correct. So Southampton away last season, Millwall against all odds managed to pull out a win away. And it doesn't have to be away. It could be against the home game as well. But basically, will be our most Millness win is when everyone's backing the other team to win, we somehow win, shithouse performance. And that's the question. So I'm trying to take these questions a bit differently to the typical kind of usual, who will be our top goal scorer? That is still to come, but I want to throw in some different road questions. And this will be the first one. What will be our most Millness win next season where no one expects us to win, but we managed to win the game? And it's kind of like, fuck me, Millwall got a result and ruined everyone's accumulator over the weekend. So, Jay, I'll come to you first, mate. What will be our most Millness win next season?
I was at Norwich away at the beginning of the season, and we never fare well at Norwich away. It's always a calamity of a performance as well as a loss. It's not just we lose. It's normally a very, very bad performance. I think Norwich away this season. Norwich away is going to be the one time we're going to turn up, we're going to turn it round, it's going to be back against the wall, and we're going to nick it. I don't know what the score will be, but we're going to finally turn that corner at Norwich away, I think. I think that will be the most Millwall-ness win.
I got carried away like I tend to do so, and I do kind of say this like a bit in jest, but I said our most Millness win next season will be Burnley away last game of the season to keep us up. I did go on to say it would ruin their promotion party, and then also I said Danny McNamara scores it in the 95th minute to win us the game. So there you go.
Jesus, stick your house on that, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think all the above is going to happen, but I think we're going to get a good result last game of the season, and that's going to have some sort of context to our season, is what I think. Mickey, what do you think is going to be our most Millness win next season?
It's going to be the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and it's going to be Man United.
That is a question still to come as well about the FA Cup, because obviously Harris renowned to be a cup run manager. So there you go. So thanks for that, both your comments, and obviously we'll go to the guys here. We've got Leeds at home from Alex S. We've got Sheffield United away from Bailey. Beating Leeds to die then promotion from Steve. I love that. QPR away from Daily Millwall. Sheffield United at home, I'm going, says Dan Riggs. Sheffield United at home, Jake Cooper to score. There's also a question about Jake Cooper to come, so I tried to take these questions in a different manner. Leeds away from M Tan. Arsenal at home in the Cup from David Turner. Leeds away from Peter Sullivan, and Preston away from Joseph, and doing the double over Leeds from Carl Bracey. So that's the first question. What will be our most Millwall to win next season? The next question I put in here was what Millwall player, what youth player will make an appearance this season yet to make an appearance? So I've worded it as name a player who will make their senior debut for Millwall from the academy. So these players have yet to play for the first team.
And Stephen had the touch of death.
Yeah, Stephen went with Nino Adam Malachi.
Oh,
Is that his name? How do you pronounce it? I went with I think Alfie Massey. I think someone else went for Alfie Massey. I think maybe Ben, and I think someone went for Josh Leahy. So obviously, a youngster that's currently at the club hasn't played a senior game for the club just yet. And obviously, just before that, we recorded, and then the next day Malachi comes out as injured. But I'll come to you first, Mickey. Who's going to make their senior debut this season from the academy?
Josh Stevenson.
That's controversial, but I love it. I love that one.
Actually took that. That was in my mind. I thought if he's here and you want to keep him, get him in the team, and we backed it.
We will point these up and then come back to this next season. So we will also get some of the comments up. If you guys are still here around next season when we do this, we'll do another live show and react to the comments from people as well. But Jay, what do you reckon, mate? So currently in the youth setup, they're going to make their senior appearance for Millwall next season. Who is it?
It's Massey. It's Massey for me. I think that we've got a lot of injuries there. We need legs there. I think Massey.
Nice one. Well, thanks, guys. So all your comments are coming in, so keep them coming. We've got Massey from Alex, Massey from Dan, Massey
Yeah,
from
Tom.
Luna.
It's Tom, by the way, not Josh.
Josh Stevenson.
No, Tom Leahy.
Leahy.
Oh, Tom Leahy, yeah. Did
Yeah,
I say,
you said Josh Leahy.
I'm sure I said Tom Leahy. Did I say Josh? Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Teddy said different.
Massey from Peter, Massey from M-Tan, Massey from David Turner, and then got Leahy from Daily Millwall, Leahy from Teddy Davis, and Massey from Joseph, Massey from Steve, and a Coley from Michael. I like that rogue one. We discussed the Coley actually on the show the other day. I'm not going into too much detail because you can listen back to it and watch it yourself. But obviously, Coley didn't travel with the first team to Mercia, which for me ruled him out personally of being involved this season. But time will tell. You never know. Could be 3 injuries on Saturday, and it could mean he plays away at Bristol City next week. Who knows? The next question is the stereotypical one. Who will win the fans player of the season? I'll go with my one first that I said. I said the fans player of the season will be Japhet Tanganga. I think obviously we all loved him last season. Likelihood is if he stays fit and plays 44 league games because he's suspended for the first 2 and the cup game, I think Japhet Tanganga turns around and wins the player of the season. If he has a good season, we're going to do well. And a lot of that will be because of him defensively. So, Jay, what do you reckon?
I'm going to say Romain Esse. I just think easy on the eye, the flair he's got, the excitement around him. You know, he's probably the most skillful player at the club. He's got a bit bright future if he plays well. There's clearly a key point of getting him in the team and getting him playing. I thought he was really good pre-season. Saw a lot of things that other players didn't see. Made some good passes. I think Esse, if he stays fit all season and plays, I think Esse his quality will show.
Mickey, who's your fans player of the season at the end of the year?
Esse's one young player of the season the last 2 seasons anyway. So
He did, yeah.
And I think he's probably still on for. Is he still classed as a young player? Isn't he? So he might.
Young player.
Be
Yeah,
young player.
this is the fans player of the season. So last season was also Brian Leonard. It could be Leonard again, by the way, because we all fucking love him. I thought about it afterwards. I was watching the game yesterday, and I was like, "Fuck me, Leonard is still the best player on the pitch."
Still looks great.
But yeah, go on, Mickey.
I think. I really do think that Macaulay Langstaff is going to be. I think he's going to be that Millwall player and sort of come in to be a Millwall player. I mean, there was something what was said at the fans forum from Neil, and Neil turned around and said that Macaulay Langstaff is even more of a natural goal scorer than me, and more than Morrison and Gregory. He named those 3 players and himself, and he said, obviously I've got the record. He said, but Langstaff is more of a natural goal scorer than even me.
Nice, I like it. Well, the comments are funny.
So I'm going with him. I'm going with him. Fans player of the season.
One of the questions to come is who'll be top goal scorer, and I guess that answers Mickey's question.
No,
we'll
Nesbitt.
We'll come to that in a minute. The comments are flying in, guys, so please keep them coming. I've got a Marku from Alex, Leonard from Teddy, Matt Webb says Jeds. I love
Yes.
Good evening, Matt. Sorry, mate. Good evening, Matt.
Essay from Daily Millwall.
Yes,
Tango from David Turner. Got Casper from Dan Riggs. I like that shout. Denore
Yeah,
from
good shout.
Steve as well. Langstaff if he gets to Service and Peter. SAL the North American Rover. Mark Murphy
Good.
also says Jeds. Malumbi from Andrew and Leonard from Bailey. Tango from Carl. Robbie Ryan if he comes back from Dan.
Matt Smith will get it. If Langstaff scores 10 goals, he's winning it because it's unheard of as a Millwall striker.
Got a Marky from Carl and Michael, and no one has said Zian from Alex, which is interesting. That's true. And Langstaff won't get service with our midfielder supposedly from Andrew. But yeah, so and also Boris one because just come in. Truman from M-Tang, but I don't think Truman gets player of the season personally. But on the subject of goalkeepers, that is the next question. So my question that I put to everyone the other night, and I'm putting to you all today: which goalkeeper, because I mentioned it earlier as well, will make the most appearances this season for Millwall? Now, I did go a bit left fields, and I said Liam Roberts, because I know he has been brought in as a number one, but I've watched Roberts' interview when he first signed. I've seen what's been said about him. He looks really like, I think it's underplayed that he played for a side that got the playoffs last season. He was really loved by the Barnsley fans. He won the fans player of the season as well. He's not a backup goalkeeper, in my opinion. He's obviously been brought in as an understudy in that sense and to challenge Jensen. But I think Roberts could get a chance to come into the side, a bit like how Jensen made that mistake yesterday. I'm not saying he's going to get dropped for next Saturday, but if them mistakes creep in, Roberts is more than capable to come in and dislodge that position, I feel like, and potentially make more appearances. So time will tell. Mickey, who will make more goalkeeping appearances this season? Who's going to be the
I
best
agree with
goalkeeper?
you, Roberts. I don't think. I think Roberts is our number one, and I think Jensen is basically the future. So I think he will be learning the trade and playing probably the cup games and stuff. And
he's going to start the season, Jensen. He's going to start, mate. I think. Surely, no. You don't think so?
I don't know. I think it'll be Roberts.
Well, time will tell. But also on the back of that, obviously, Jay, like I said, Jensen got player of the season for fans player of the season, but also Jensen was the best pound for pound goalkeeper in League One. So it's a great conundrum for us to be in, considering the unfortunate stuff that happened in the summer where we lost our number one. And it was obviously a rubbish situation. But I feel like it also testament to recruitment, back to the Gannon situation. But we won't talk about that. But who will make the most goalkeeping appearances next season for Millwall, mate?
I'm going to say Jensen. I was really on the fence with this, but I just think that Jensen's size, what we're trying to do with the youth, bringing these players, we spent some money on him. He was a priority. Although Roberts was good for Barnsley, Jensen was better for Lincoln. So I do think that Jensen will be the number one, but I do think he'll be on a very, very short leash, and that's a testament to the quality of goalkeepers that we have now. But yeah, I'm going to say Jensen.
I think also Roberts is 29, Jensen is 25. Maybe Jensen's got a better shot save ratio because he had to save more shots last season.
Possibly.
Who knows? There could be all context to this, but we'll go for comments.
David Turner, no. Jensen is 6'5".
We'll get to the comments.
You told him that.
Gosh.
It's a question to me, not you.
Yeah, but we'll come to that. Don't worry, mate. Jensen from M-Tan, Jensen from Matt Webb, Jensen from Dan. We've also got Roberts from Steve Lloyd. We've got Jensen from Bailey and Alex. We've got Long when we buy him back from Andrew Roberts. Jensen will make a good Jensen, but I think he will fuck up with the ball at his feet and be dropped at one point from Daily Millwall. I'm going for Roberts, getting fielding vibes from Jensen. Interesting from Connor. With our injury record, it'll probably be Wadey from Lions Raw. If Ethan Wadey is in goal this season, that could be funny. I think they maybe do 60-40 this season from David. Roberts in goal, Jensen up front from Daily Millwall. Jensen from Mark Murphy. And I'm not even going to give Jordan Archer time of day from Dan Riggs. Are you get Robertson and Mickey mixed up, Mickey? Serious question. That you weren't, though, no?
No.
Okay. Jensen hot take. I thought he'd done well against Southampton. We spoke about that earlier, Ben. But yeah, I thought he actually looked all right, aside from the mistake. And then I'll finish with Brian Horn, because why not, from Ugo there. But yeah, so I thought an interesting question anyway, because it'll be one to watch this season. The next question I asked, there was a joke one in there, but I missed that one. The next question was, last season, Mill earned 59 points last season. Higher or lower for 24-25? Jay, you're first, mate.
I'm putting this one slap bang on the nose. We will get 59 points again this season.
Love it. I didn't give that as an option, but I didn't think that is possible.
Straight slap bang on the nose, mate.
I went lower personally because I think this season's going to be a struggle, but I don't think we'll get relegated, but that's what I think. Mickey, what do you reckon, mate? Higher or lower? Will we get more than 59 points this season? Seasons before that, when we finished top half, we've been getting more than 59.
You missed the question out, Omar, unless it's
I did miss that one out because it was a bit of a joke one, but it was Will Down mentioned Plymouth away, and he has.
Yes, he mentions it every opposition he can. So yeah, if you say Dan any away game, just walk up to him, and go Plymouth away. Did I see you there? And just that would just start a conversation off. All right. I would. I don't know. I've got a higher number in my head, but realistically, I think we're probably gonna. And I won't say where I think we're going to finish because that's probably a question in a minute. I would probably say. I'm going to say slightly high. I'm going to go 63.
Okay, I'll take 63 points right now. I'll be honest. We've got lower from Bailey here. We've got lower by 1 from Matt. Lower, but it's going to be a low point season from Ben. Higher from Peter. Lower from Paul. Lower from Steve. Lower base right now from Dan. Higher from David. 79 in the playoffs from Andrew. I'll have whatever you're having because yes, please. Higher from Daily Millwall. Higher from Connor. I think we get 60, so higher from American Rover. At the moment, I'll say lower from Mark, higher from Alex, and then Brian Horn again from John Parr. I love it. It's obviously a lot of subject based on who we sign. If we get more players in, we should get more players in. But at the moment, I'm saying lower. 59 with present squad, 65 rare quality to the squad from Ugo there. Next question I asked was, will Neil Harris be Mill manager by the end of the season? Go on, Mickey.
That's a good question because he.
Thank you. I thought of them all myself.
He refused to answer that at the fans forum.
Did he actually get asked that at the fans forum?
Yeah, and he refused to answer it. He said, I'm here to transition," because someone asked him about a transition and said, "You said you were here for 15 months. What's happening?" And he just went, "I'm here to do what I'm here to do."
Interesting. So sorry, just to caveat as well, I did add on, will he sign a new contract as well? So, I mean, look, you can obviously pipe in that you two. The comments, you can also say that, will he get a new contract this season? But yeah, will he be the manager at the end of the season? Meaning, by the last game of the season, the whistle goes at Turf Moor. Will he be the manager at the end of the season, Mickey? It's not that deep.
It is really, because if I bump into him, he's going to want to punch me in the face if I say the wrong answer.
It could be that we win the first 20 games of the season and he goes off to the Premier League, mate. It could be any context to it. Don't worry about it.
Don't know about that one. I'm going to say, yeah, I think he probably will because he'll fulfil his contract. I would say that, yeah, I don't think
we could sack him.
Yeah, I don't really want to say that out loud because that sort of puts a death on it, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm just going to go.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, Jay, will Neil Harris be the manager of Mill at the end of the season?
He will, and I think he'll get another deal. I think he'll get another 12 months. I honestly do. If he keeps us up and, not to upset the apple cart with the youth, the new board members and how it's rolling, if he keeps us up and we see progression, why would the club upset the apple cart? I think if he keeps us up and we get the 59 points I say we're going to get, I think he will. I think he'll get offered another 12 months to oversee the project, to see it through to a more stable point, to then bring a new manager in, because you're doing all this work now, a lot of changes in the board, a lot of new players, a lot of youth coming through, to then end it and change it in 12 months. I don't know. If he stays up, yes. If we don't, and we're in real dire lumber and we are in danger of going down, then no, he'll get sacked, in my opinion. But I'm going off the cuff now. Yes, he's going to be here at Burnley. And yes, I think he'll sign another deal. It won't be a long-term deal.
Mickey, you didn't answer that question. Will he sign a new contract as well? No.
This isn't what I want either. That's what I think is going to happen.
I don't think he will, because I think, like what I've said before, is that Neil Harris was the right man to take us through a transition period, but is he the right man to take us business-wise, take us forward and whatnot. I don't know if he is. So yeah, I would say yeah. But a question back to you two quickly: if he did do what obviously, I'm not going to mention his name, and Edwards, nearly, but I didn't.
Go Rally, as you call him.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning that. You've got fined now, by the way.
Rally, not Rally.
That's 40. That's £40 now. You've got to pay the charity. By the way, every time you mention his name, there's a tenner.
I said Rally.
Yeah, there you go. There's 50.
That's
Keep going.
That's not his name. That's not his name, mate.
But anyway, the cocky little cunt. I just, if we get to that position where obviously Edwards come in and then Edwards did what he did, and we're in that position where you need someone to come in to rescue the season, and we're in that with Harris, who would be your manager to rescue that season?
Mate, I don't know. Let's not worry about that. That's not important. I don't fucking know. It could be anyone. Fuck knows. I don't know. Because it always changes. I think I answered yes and yes, by the way. I think he sees it out. I think he stays as well. I don't know. I've got a good feeling about this season. I do. Don't ask me why. Well, I've
got a good feeling about this season. Yeah, definitely.
I've got a good feeling. And also, like, to touch on, I listened to Not the Top 20 this morning, who are obviously quite a good podcast, do obviously the EFL and stuff like that. And they had us finishing 23rd place. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it kind of dawned on me because they know their shit when they talk about the EFL, right? And this is a neutral's point of view. And I was like, right, I'm going to stick it on this morning. I woke up, put it on the telly, and I was like, right, I'm going to listen to it till they mentioned Millwall. It was 8 minutes in. They said Millwall 23rd. And I was like, Jesus. And it kind of dawned on me because their points were valid. The business we've done, it's been all right, but nothing, to write home about. We've not signed enough players yet. And, Harris came in as a stopgap last season. But I feel like we're going to build it this season, me personally. And I love the idea of us being the underdog this season is all I took from that. Because a lot of people are touting us to struggle, the neutrals. And we thrive, especially our manager, our head coach, on being the underdog. And that gets me excited, the thought of that, me personally. Like, if you say to me, Millwall going down this season and you're neutral, perfect. Think that because we're going to prove you guys wrong. And Harris 100%. Will play on that. Harris will play on that beyond belief. He'll get the fans on board. He'll keep that kind of mentality going. And to me, that just gives me a bit more excitement to go, yeah, fuck you guys. We're going to prove you wrong this season. But we'll see. Time will tell. I'll answer thanks for your answers anyway. So here's the replies from everyone. Note from Dan. Yes from Ben. Yes from David. Yes from Alex as well. Daily Mills sat on the fence, 50-50. I mean, that wasn't really the question. The answer to the question, possible mates, yes or no. No from Bailey. Yes, if he gets us promotion from Andrew. No from Peter. Yes, but he'll walk after the last game from Steve. Okay. Yes from Matt. I'm not going to give Brian Horn any more time, guys. Is Harris in a K jacket where he only signed the season at a time? At the moment, he's only got one more year left on his contract. Yes from Connor. He's going to at least get the England job from Daily Millwall. Oh, yeah, that'll do. He'll be gone by next season from Ben. So I assume he's saying he'll still be at the end of the season. I think he'll be here. Will he stay? Probably not, from Mark. I think he'll walk at the end of the season from Connor. Yes from Carl. And also yes from Lions Royal saying become direct football. That was also the same thing that Stephen said. That's the hope there. So we'll wait and see. What I will say is if you're all commenting, which is great, make sure you like the video too. So I'll do it at the top.
Only 31 have.
So guys, like, you're all commenting and I really appreciate the interaction and it's great. I'm enjoying this. Leave a like on the video. Come on, let's get to 50. Next question we've got on here is points from the first 5 games. So it's kind of off the cuff. How many points will Millwall get from the first 5 games this season? Mickey.
I'm going to go.
So our fixtures, just whilst Mickey's pausing and thinking, because his brain cells are quite limited at the moment, we've got Watford at home. We've got Bristol City away. We've got Hull away. I'm thinking off the cuff here. Is it Coventry at home? I'm getting it up right in front of me, actually. It's Sheffield Wednesday at home, sorry, and then Luton at home. And Mickey, has your brain cells kicked in just yet? And how many points will we get from the first 5 games? No other fixtures.
I'm going to go with 9.
9. I had that little moment where I get carried away and I said 12. I think we're going to get off to the start of the season. Listen, summer's not been great. We've not signed all the players we want just yet. But Watford at home, I think Watford will struggle this season. It's set up for us to win that game. 100%. Bristol City away, another game where I think we can go there, take a big following and get a result. I think we lose at Hull.
Yeah, I do too.
I think again after that is 2 home games: Sheffield Wednesday and Luton. Talk to me. I think look, Neil Harris will want to make the Den of Fortress again this season. You got 4 home games from 3 home games there from your first 5. That's going to take in our favour, I think. That's my opinion. And what was your answer, sorry, Mickey?
9.
9. Jay, how many points did we get from our first 5 games, mate?
See, chat, this is why this is the best podcast, because we don't all have the same opinions. We do have a bit of yin and yang. There is a bit of negativity and a bit of positivity, and it does cause a bit of conflict, but it's all in good art, right?
And Jay's going
Now,
with 0.
I'm not going with 0. I'm going to go slap bang somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say 7 points. I do think the home form will be good. We are a struggling team away. I worry of the injuries and the lack of Tanganga and Zian and signings that may not be here for the first couple of games. So I'm saying 7 points.
My opinion is we start the season really well, and we.
I think we do as well. I
to
think
the
we
point
beat
where, to the
Watford.
point, go on, mate.
We beat Watford. We beat Bristol City away, and we beat. No, that would be 9 points. We get a point at home against Luton or Sheffield Wednesday, but probably Sheffield Wednesday. I think Luton come and beat us.
My thought process is we start the season shit hot, and then we fall away to the point where we're looking behind us later in the season. I just think we carry that form from last season. There's a feel good amongst, like, the squad is limited. We talk about how we are and all that sort of stuff, but that squad playing for that manager, that's going to carry us some distance.
Yeah,
it's not going to carry us to where we want to be because we've not got enough quality in this side, but that will carry us this form. And I do think we will start the season really well. Just my opinion anyway. So time will tell. Also, Jeb Wallace is going to score 3 in his first 3 games for us as well. So,
yeah, 7 points. I'm saying 7 points.
I like it. Comments from here. We've got 9 from Steve, 6 from BNY King. We've got 7 from Dan, 9 from Peter, 4 from David. Oh, God. 5 from Bailey. We never start well from Danny. We'll pick up our points from November onwards. 7 from Alex, 4 from David, 5 from Daily Millwall, 7 points from Adam, 9 from Andrew, 7 from M-Tan, 9 from Uga, 10 from Connor, 7 from Paul, 10 from Ben, 8 from Mark. He also says Brian Horn. I'll give you that one, mate. Go on. And 11 from Michael. So that means we're going to go unbeaten in the first 5. I fucking love that. And 7 points and average 35% possession from Alex.
Less than 35%, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That should have been a question.
Ben also says we breeze past Watford on Saturday. I hope so. I think it's just set up for the occasion. We've got the Sarkic Memorial at the start. I'm hoping. I know Bristol City last season was a bit of a damp affair in the end, but I think players will be motivated. I hope it is what we hope it is on Saturday.
Tom Cleverley in the opposite dugout as well. It's not, if he could have chose anywhere not to go for his first game in charge of the season, it would have been Millwall away, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. So
yeah. Incidentally, I mentioned not the top 20 podcast. They had Watford finishing 24th. because I only listened up to 23rd because I mentioned
Jesus.
So they had Watford 24th and Millwall 23rd. So the 2 worst teams in the Championship, by their prediction, are playing on Saturday. Listen, we'll see what happens. Tango's ban, as far as I'm aware, is covered by the cup game, so he's due to play 44 games a season. Yeah, that's my plan here, Steve. Right, next question anyway is the stereotypical one. What position will Millwall finish this season? I went with 18th the other night, boys. Jay, where's Millwall finish? 16th. Nice.
I think the quality in the Championship this year, and I said 59 points, and that finished us, just by the top half. I just think that the way the quality is now, big clubs are now in the Championship come up and come down. I think we'll get the same points, but it will push us down because I think a lot of teams are going to pick up a lot of points this year. So yeah, 59 points, 16th.
Mickey, what position will Millwall finish the season, mate?
I'm going to go. I think it's going to be between 10 and 15th. So I'm going to go. I'm just going to say, between 10 and 15. That's where I think we're finished. Unless we get a real good push.
Guns to your head, then. Guns to your head.
You need a position. Because we're going to point scores this at the end of the season. We need a position from you, mate. What position will we finish the season?
I'm going to go 10th.
10th. No, you ain't going 10th.
Yes, please. Come on, you Lions.
I want Tom and Mickey's what he's putting in his water.
That's it. 15.
No, literally, just go back to the YouTube channel and watch the intro video, what puts you on there, and see Omar going, if you beat me, that's fucking not right when I've beaten him most seasons. So yeah.
15th from Steve Lloyd, 10th from Peter, 11th from Daily Mill, sorry, 14th from Adam, 12th from Alex, based on right now, 15th from Dan Riggs, got 19th from Bailey, 9th from David, 10th
Drugs.
from 10th from Mike, then another 9th here, well, he's actually commented twice, sorry, that's the same one. And what about that one, mate? Drugs, finish
Fuck.
5th.
Hallucinogens.
Andrew says 6th with Langstaff and
Yeah, but-
right?
You imagine if Langstaff and if Langstaff hits the ground running, and we get a couple of other, say for instance, Fleming hits the ground, starts scoring, and fucking we have a couple of the strikers start scoring goals this season. It's fucking highly possible.
Depends who's serving him. We could have Kareem Benzema up front. He's getting no service at the moment.
I'll tell you now.
Langstaff didn't even touch the ball, did he, pre-season? Like, right now, no way.
Well, okay. So what if we get promoted this season, Jay? What we gonna do as a forfeit for you, mate?
If we get promoted this season,
I'll give
anything
you
you
one.
want.
Okay,
Give
I'll
me
give
a
you. If
few.
we get promoted this season, you need to get Harris 9 on the back of your on your back with a tattoo. You need. I won't say how big it needs to be, but it needs to be decent enough that we see it. I want to see Harris 9 on the back in the shape of a shirt on your back tattooed, mate. If we get promoted this season.
Okay, chat or someone click this. I will get Harris 9 and the promote. I'll get the promotion date, everything. I will get that tattooed. So
Love it.
Get that tattooed.
You're a lot better than me.
100%.
I would have just made him wear a Charlton shirt for the fucking. Do you know what
No,
I
I
mean?
would not do that. I'd rather not do that. That's more insulting. I will do that. I will take that.
3rd from Ben, Harris Masterclass, Jensen Whips ball over top for Langstaff. It's a small team. 9th from Connor, 15th from Mark, 19th from BNY King, 4th from Michael, 6th or 7th from Carl. There's some positivity in this chat. I love it.
Some
7th from
drugs
Josh.
going on here.
3rd unbeaten at home, 1-0 wins for half of the away games.
Yeah, that's more likely.
And then negative J for this season, apparently, from Steve, mate. Just to end on that one there.
Do you know what? And you're not in our pod group chat. It's starting to become a theme. I need to rein it in a little bit. To because I've taken the mantle from Dan, like the Olympic torch. He's passed it on now, and I'm carrying it. And I don't want to. I want it to rain to put it out.
Keeping that flame alive, mate. Next question, everyone, is what round are we making it to in the FA Cup? And also, for a bit of fun, we said afterwards. So I want what round we make it to the FA Cup and what game will knock us out. So there was Newcastle away in the 5th round from Stephen. There was Old Trafford in the 4th round from Ben. There was me saying, I think it was, I said 4th round we get knocked out at Goodison Park, Everton away, then last season at Goodison Park. Multiple reasons why I won that game, and I'm sure people can figure out why. I said in the 3rd round we'll beat West Ham away as well, just for a bit of fun. But listen, I'm hopeful. I think we all concluded this is our year to get a big draw. I hope that's all we want really from the FA Cup. But what round will we get knocked out in the FA Cup, Mickey? And who are we playing when we get knocked out? So I think you've got the 3rd, 4th, 5th, quarter-final, semi-final, and then the final. I think that's it. I think 6 games.
I reckon.
I also said 3rd round we get knocked out by Exeter away for a bit of a laugh because like we're all getting our hopes up and we probably end up losing to a shit team. Let's be honest. But we went big. I said 4th round Goodison Park we lose the game, but we win in other areas.
I'll go quarter final.
Oh,
I'll go quarter final. West Ham at home, and then it would just be carnage.
quarter final West Ham at home. If we have West Ham at home, we win that game. I think fuck it, we win that game. It's 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Is that the game?
It'll be fucking 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think we win that. We've all been on the piss since 3 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is it. That's our cup final. Do you know what I mean, mate? I don't think we lose that game under Harris. I could be wrong. We'll probably get play off the park, let's be honest. But it will mean too much to us, I feel. I don't know. Fuck knows. Jay, what round will we make it to and who do we lose to?
We are going to get knocked out in the 4th round by Fulham at home. We're going to get that kind of draw. We're going to get the big draw. We're all going to expect a big draw, and it's going to be Fulham, and it's going to be it's Premier League club. It's going to be Brighton all over again, Everton all over again. It's going to be a Premier League club. It ain't going to be one of the ones that we want. It's going to be Fulham at home, and we'll get knocked out. And look, they'll bring Mitrovic back on loan, and he'll come and score a trick, and then they'll cancel his loan.
Open Saturday.
Like that.
I hope we have a Saturday and it's a realistic kickoff time, and then we might do a boat.
Yeah,
No,
Fulham
no.
away. I went up on the boat last time. That was amazing.
I think also the quarterfinal, Mickey, I just thought about the quarterfinals they play midweek. So it'd be West Ham midweek. That will not happen, mate. But, wishful thinking, all that stuff. But
Fulham at home, fourth round.
I like
we played
it.
them. We played them midweek in the Carling Cup that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
what
there.
2009.
Yeah.
And what happened there, mate? Yeah.
Carnage. Carnage.
MTAS is the final. I think this is before I said to caveat it with your prediction of who we play against. Fifth round from Alex, fifth round from Dan, who didn't want to say fifth round Arsenal. Cool. I'd love to go to the Emirates. Just 8,000 Mill fans in that end behind the goal. Yes,
Just
please.
to smash the gaff up.
Yeah, fourth round, Peter. If it gets smashed up, it wasn't me. It was Jay.
I'm just speaking prosperity. I'm not putting that in stone.
Fourth round, Mike. Third round in and out from Adam. Fourth round from Mike. Fourth round Villa away from Uga. I've been there twice. I mean, okay. Semi-final, we lose 8-0 to Man City from Harry. I mean, if I knew it was City in the semi-final, I'd rather lose in the quarter-final just to save that embarrassment, to be honest. Fifth round Man City from Steve. Final against West Ham and knocked out to Reading on 21 again. Fourth, Notts County away from Daily Millwall. Quarters against Palace from David Turner. Oh, that'd be nice. Doncaster at home from Adam. Third round away at Norwich from Bailey. Then we'll then get Chelsea, who then get Chelsea away the final round. Fourth round Weymouth from Mark. And then Charlton in the third round. I mean, Michael, mate, where are you going this way? Come on, that's not happening. Never. Are
you Wall, Michael? Are you Wall?
Yeah. Fourth round from Paul, final from Connor, and then quarters from Carl, fourth from Monica Jones. And I agree, quarters from Ben.
Monica Jones, by the way, is Stephen's mum.
Yeah, Steve's mum. Hi, Monica.
Monica, for your comment. Hello, Steve's mum. Quarterfinals, Man City away from Carl. The third round will be Bromley. Fourth will be Charlton. Fifth will be West Ham. Quarterfinals will lose to Man United from Richard. I love it. And fifth round to Chelsea from Alex. And fourth round, Brighton again. And Jensen drops the ball.
That's what happened literally the last time we played Brighton as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. Right, another stereotypical question of predictions for the start of the season. Who will be our top goal scorer this season, guys? Mickey, your answer is already Macaulay Langstaff, right? And how many goals, guys?
No.
Comment. Who will be our top goal scorer?
Goals?
How many? Who will be our top goal scorer, and how many goals?
You see, the thing is, I don't want to jinx him because last season I said Nesbitt 25, and it fucking jinxed him, and he fucking didn't score shit. So I don't really want to jinx him by going, but I can. Yeah, I'm going to go him, and I reckon he's going to get sub 20.
Okay.
Right. Who's this? Sorry, you said sorry.
Langstaff.
Okay, Langstaff and sub 20. What does that mean? Sorry, he's going to
As
get
in,
20 goals.
He's going to get 20 or above, yeah.
No. Give me a number. And
20 then, because you lot ain't going to go anywhere near there. So if he scores above 20, I get the point.
I said Langstaff and score 17 to match his shirt number. Makes you feel better, mate. Jay,
Cool.
who's going to be the top goal scorer?
I'm going to say Langstaff as well, just for default. Langstaff, and I think he gets 13.
Love that. Happy with that, I think, mate. Stephen did say, and was really trying to go with Nisbet, and I don't think Nisbet. Monica, I know you're in the chat, mate, but you need to have a word with your son. Kevin Nisbet won't.
I won't even be surprised if Nisbet's even here to see the season.
That's what we said in the other day. So, comments, we got 15 from Stephen with no name. Give us a name, please, Stephen. Fleming, give us
a name with no score.
It was my fault, so I'll take that one. And say Mike says Cooper. Langstaff, the Cooper we're coming back to in a minute because that's a question coming up. Peter Sullivan says Langstaff 14. Ben Frampton says Langstaff 13. Adam says Langstaff 13 as well. So we get some more Langstaff shouts. We have got another Nisbet here, Steve, 15. His name is Steve. It must run in the Steve. Bradshaw 4 from Alex. Amarku from Wallline. Give us a number as well, please. Fleming with 7 from Bailey. I think that's what we got last season, if I'm not mistaken. If service provided, Langstaff with 13. Langstaff or Cooper from Andrew. Idemo to get 13. No one's mentioned Idemo, but I think this could be his breakthrough season, by the way. We all said that multiple times, but yeah, not many people have said Idemo Marku. Zian with 9 goals. Langstaff from Monica Jones. Fleming with 12. New signing 11. That's funny because Wallace 20 from Josh. Yes.
Yes.
Murray Wallace or Jed Wallace, just to confirm.
He's got Bradshaw as his profile picture, so I imagine he means Murray Wallace.
Fleming with 20 as our target man. Amarku 9 from Wall Lion. Cooper will get 20 penalties this season. We're getting silly now, guys, but I love it. Langstaff 25 goals and Amarku 8 from Mark Murphy. So the next question was who will have the most assists this season for Millwall. So I'll tell you what the guy said the other day. So I went with Amarku just to kind of shithouse it. I could see him running into the box, fumbling the ball, but he'll touch him last before it goes to the striker who scores the goal. So I said Amarku will get the most assists this season for Millwall. But the guys all then, because I went first, the guys all afterwards said whoever we sign is that winger will then be the most assists. So I'll give you that if you want to give an option. Say new signing will get the most assists. So you can say new signing if you want to. And the same goes to the chat. Keep giving me comments in. So I went with, as I mentioned, Amarku. So who will get the most assists this season, Mickey? And you can say new signing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go new signing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, right. Ooh. Where's the mystic ball?
I've got a ball somewhere, but yeah.
Jay, who's going to get the most assists for us this season, mate?
Romain Esse is going to get the most assists. This is his season. He is starting. He is the breakthrough guy. He is the guy that is going to send the youth ascending. He's the one that we're looking to move on through good performances. I think Esse is going to get the most assists this season.
Mickey's found his mystic ball.
You should just do that, Mickey.
It's got a goldfish in it, look.
Someone clip it. Someone clip it now. So go to the comments. Just throw me off. Esse is from Daily Mill. Casper from Alex S. I went Esse last season. I think he got 1 assist. Not to ruin everyone's party, but maybe he's more developed. This is his breakthrough. Casper from Steve Lloyd. Fleming with 8 assists from Adam. Zian as well from Uga. Andrew says Jed. Brian from M Tan. Fleming with 5 from Bailey. Saville from Ben. Aziz. There you go. There's the winger shout from Dan Riggs. New signing from Peter. Denore from Connor. Brian with 6. New signing from Wall Lion. Saville with free kicks and corners. Also worth noting that Honeyman takes some corners as well. So I think Honeyman was suggested in the chat the other day. Brian with 7. Brian also suggested if taking free kicks from Richard. Esse with 10 from Michael. New signing from Carl. Denore with 7 from Mark. And Andrew says, Mickey, stop rubbing your balls.
Do you think Jay's really talking to someone or not really?
Yeah, sorry, for just the context, guys. I'm not ignoring you or I'm not talking to you a bit more. My son's asking me to come and help him play Search and Destroy because he's getting battered on Call of Duty. So after this, we've got to go to war. So yeah, I've been to war tonight already. Yeah, I'm going again at 10 o'clock at night. He's only bloody 11. I should say a better parent, I think.
All of those.
If you're on Xbox or whatever, if it's open, send me a thing and I might come and join you.
Yeah, I used to talk it all the time, to be fair. Right, last question, everyone. And it was kind of just added at the end because we was talking about it, obviously talking about goals and who's going to score. How many goals will Cooper score this season? And how
Funny
many
subject.
And how many of them will be first goal scorer? So obviously the bet that we always like to do is Jake Cooper first goal scorer. Everyone always tries to jump on it. So the context was how many goals will he score and how many will be first goal scorer? So there's your question.
Neil Harris, that was raised at the fans forum. He was talking about a fan said about Cooper. Do you not think we're a bit predictable, sticking the ball into Cooper all the time when maybe we should be looking at others? And there was a whole discussion about it and whatnot. And he said, well, when Cooper's on fire, you want that ball to Cooper. Do you know what I mean? There's no ifs or buts. You don't want anyone else in there. Cooper's a big lad. You want it to Cooper. And then as soon as he said, well, we'd want it to Cooper. And then I just said, yeah, so do we, because Cooper's normally 9-1 at least. And Neil went, really? And we went, yeah, nearly every week. Neil is pretty much 9-1 or above every week to be the first goal scorer at any time.
I thought
him and Gallon were like that.
I thought our set pieces were fucking dog shit yesterday, for what it's worth. We need a proper cross of the ball, I'll tell you now, because those corners was shocking. You got Cooper in there, I know he gets marked, but yeah, you get him the right service, whip it with enough pace, he'll get on the end of it. And
yeah, you got a good crosser coming in.
I hope so.
He drops the ball like that and then sods off. Like, you know what I mean? What
Go
I
on,
want to
Jake.
know is, I will give my prediction, but chat, I want to know, right, this question, because this was a massive theme last season. How many games is Omar going to bet that Cooper will be the first goal scorer? That should have been the question.
It's how many
I want to
games,
know that, right?
how many after game shows is Omar going to appear on would be a much
Yeah.
better.
Oh,
So while I give my prediction and you give your prediction, chat, I want to know how many games is Omar going to bet that Cooper will be the first goal scorer.
flick
But
through the
I'm-
comments.
I'm
Find
going
it.
to say,
Dan Riggs, sorry, one second. Dan Riggs says I was sober yesterday, and that is true. He witnessed it. I was sober yesterday. It was pre-season. I saved myself, but there you go.
I talk to Dan a lot, but I don't trust that comment. I mean, I trust a lot what he says, but not that
He
one.
was he drove it, so he weren't drinking. So yeah.
Right, I'm going to say that Cooper gets 6 goals this season, and I think 4 of them are the first goal scorer.
Nice, I like it. Well, also to caveat, we've got Sheffield United this season, and Cooper's
It's
scored
guaranteed,
5
yeah.
goals against Sheffield United, so
Yeah, that's a guarantee.
put that one out into the abyss and hope for the best. He's not going to score a single goal against them now, but we can be hopeful. I said I think 5 goals he'll score this season. 3 will be from first goal scorer. I mean, Mickey, he's back. Neil Harris, you know, he loved getting Cooper to score a goal, mate. What do you reckon, Mickey? How many goals will Jake Cooper score this season, and how many will be first goal scorer?
I don't know about first goal scorer, if I'm honest, but I reckon he'll probably score. I'm going to go 8.
8. Fuck
Because
me.
there seems to be a discussion that basically they're playing
It's the second top scorer then.
They're
Yeah,
playing.
playoffs gets 20. How many? And Cooper gets 8. Cool, mate. You have to revise that prediction. We'll be in the playoffs,
Playoffs, isn't it?
mate. Yeah. 8 goals, yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get 8 goals. Yeah.
And how many of them will be the first goal in the game?
Oh, I don't know. Fucking.
Come on,
I don't know.
play along. It's a game. It's the whole point of this.
3 of them.
Right, there you go. You heard it from Mickey himself, guys. I missed it, Mickey, as well, remember? So, listen, we've got a chance this year. 5 goals, all first from Adam. Cool, I'll be quids in, I'll tell you now. 5 and 3 from Alex. Cooper, 3 goals, 1 as first goals from Dan. 2 from Daily Mill and 0 for first goal scorer. 5 goals and 3 first, 2 home goals from Bailey. 5 goals and 2 from first goals from Steve. 4 and 2 from Peter. 5 and 1 from Mike, 4 and 1 from Mark, 1 goal from Cooper this season, but it'll be first goal scorer from David. Andrew says, told you, 20 pence. Yes, I'll take that. -1 from George Bresky. 4 last minute winners, M10. 5 goals for Cooper. Cole, you didn't tell us who will be first goal scorer. 4 and 2 from Uga. More chance of Tommy Cooper scoring from a free kick from Richard Lacey. Jed's good on crossing, Steve Lloyd says. Jed is good on crossing, isn't he? And we need a Williams type free kick taker, David says. You're not wrong. 2 goals for Juicy Jake from Connor. And I think this is an answer to your thing, Jay. 46 plus cup.
Yeah, that would have been my prediction as well.
Every game from Daily Millwall.
Yes, it will be.
Based on how many games we play, so every game from Mark.
We'll ask him every show. We'll ask him. Did you bet on Cooper this week?
3 and 1 from Paul, and Cooper score first goal in every fixture, 1,000 to 1. I think it's probably be about 1,000,000 to 1, surely. I think him to score first goal in every game. Cooper 8 goals, player of the season, then from David, as he says there. So yeah, that was good fun, and thank you to everyone commenting. I think we'll come back to this. Obviously, start of next season. Hopefully, everyone's still coming in and be around. But yeah, I enjoyed that. What do you reckon, guys? Was it good questions?
Yeah, it's quite a good. Some ones where you had to sit and think a little cut through curveballs in there, that how many and so on. So it'll definitely make the end of season a bit tougher to win, but a bit funnier as well. So yeah, no, good. Interesting that a lot of people agreed with many of our thoughts as well. We weren't too far away from each other. So,
No.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Mickey?
It's good. I'm just looking forward. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I'm just looking forward to the prediction game when I get more correct than you each week.
Is that going? Are you going on record that you're going to win the prediction game?
Oh, I always
beat
beat him. I always beat him every year. I always beat him.
You did beat me last year. So
we didn't do it last year, so don't.
We've got another one offline.
Some revolutions coming out on this tonight, chat. Look out for the clips because we're pulling out some big ones tonight.
We'll talk more about if M10. Make sure you tune in Friday evening because we'll do Friday Night Live and we'll talk about who will start on Saturday and who we think might get the nod. So yeah, that's all good. But I think we're starting to wrap up anyway, guys, ain't we? I think we're done here. So thank you everyone for commenting. It's been great tonight. I've really enjoyed it. That 2 hours nearly has flown by and I've really enjoyed it.
Which has given me loads of editing now. Thanks.
Why you got it? You just upload it.
I'll just put it out as a pod because otherwise it's just too long-winded. So yeah, it will stay as one on YouTube. But it just
And
then
just
people can listen to you chat bollocks, and then they can listen to us play the game.
Josh Broski, we are setting up a FPL for the championship, and Jay is leading that as well, aren't you, Jay, mate? So we are definitely setting up an FPL this season.
Yeah, like I said, just go on to the That Millwall podcast Twitter page, find the tweet that was shared, this at Fantasy EFL show with myself and Ben Green, and that show will be going out hopefully Thursday. So if you're all interested in fantasy football, you can come and message me privately, or if you're in the bunches, and you'll get the league code. But yeah, that'll be a separate show. And obviously, we've got the championship one going as well. So lots to come this season, lots of changes. So stay with us.
We'll stick the YouTube in the description. We'll stick your YouTube channel in our description on this show, and then just go in there and give them a sub, mate, because obviously they're going to need you.
That Fantasy EFL show, yeah, it's on Twitter. You'll find the link to the YouTube channel there. Mickey will put it in the description.
It's Fantasy EFL show.
I'll do it again.
If you're all interested, jump on it because it'll be fun.
There you go, guys. But yeah, it was a great show. I've enjoyed that. Thanks for your comments, guys, as mentioned. And Mickey, do you want to see us out?
No. Yeah, no, I will. Yeah, there is. If you check out our socials and on here everywhere across our socials, there will be for our charity Charlie Win. There is a family walk to celebrate his birthday on the 18th of August. I'll put all the details up across social over this week. Other than that, yeah, Omar's back. And I've been demoted to fucking sitting in Stephen's place on a fucking
Everyone loved the show today as well, mate. Just put it out there, so hey, you're welcome.
Today,
if you did love the show,
oh fuck off.
Did love.
Oh, giddy up and get away. Oh, we're going Millwall and we're going today.